Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Jerry and Woody's Horror Movie Reviews.
Howdy.
That's Woody.
That's Jerry.
And that's what we do. We're actually going to be talking about two different movies tonight. I'm going to talk about The Covenant, fairly new release. And what are you going to talk about?
I'm going to talk about The Shining, a classic, a Stephen King.
Also the remake.
Jack Nicholson.
Yes. Here's Johnny. Oh, no, not Johnny.
Oh.
Johnny! Stop it. Hey, Marty. Let's go with The Covenant first. The Covenant actually is... I liked the story. I thought it was pretty cool. The story sort of followed along really well, but there were a couple real problems I had with with the film in general. It was the fact that you have a boy band witches, as well as every person in this whole fucking town was a beautiful person. Okay? No stretch of reality. Found pretty people, put them on film, put them in costume, had them walking here, had them walking there, put them into Hummer 2s or whatever, expensive SUV you could possibly find. Probably the town itself is extremely wealthy, and these people have nothing to worry about, to worry about, using Clearasil. Where the rest of us, unfortunately, have to deal with our day-to-day
ugliness.
Thank you. But you do beautifully.
Thanks, man.
But other than that, though, the music, the movie itself, the story was actually very good. It was interesting. It did keep you going along. It flowed very well. The dialogue, very natural, and the effects they used were actually really cool.
It was all right.
Yeah,
it was all right. I wasn't too excited about it. It seemed like I don't enjoy the films when they PG them to death.
Yeah.
And instead of having some blood, some nudity, anything that can pump the movie up,
you have telekinesis.
They try to dumb it down and give it a PG rating. I know they want to reach everybody, but horror should be, I want my horror bloody.
And still for the masses.
Speaking of bloody, The Shining. Oh, Jack Nicholson. Great film. It's a classic. I've read the book twice and seen the movie millions of times. Of course, they run it. You can catch it on TV all the time.
Almost all the time.
And if you haven't seen it, you have to see it.
We have Shelley Duvall.
Shelley Duvall.
Catman Scruthers.
Oh, Catman Scruthers.
He meets a wicked little bloody end, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. It's a story of how a writer goes away to a sort of a retreat, in other words, a large hotel
out in the mountains
that's going to be deserted so that he can write his novel.
Well, not so much to write it. Well, he's going to use that time to write his novel, but he's there as a caretaker.
Right.
During the winter seasons.
Right. And as he's writing, he starts to come apart and lose his mind. And oddly enough, Stephen King wrote The Shining in the same hotel that they filmed it in.
And this is what it's all based upon, Good movie.
Yes, a classic. A classic. I highly recommend The Shining.
The story really flows well. But of course, you want to talk about Psychos. Wow, that just dropped across the room.
Psychos in Love. Thank you.
Where'd that come from?
If you can't find this movie, you must find this movie. Seek this movie out. Carmine Capobianco. Excellent film.
You can say
Debbie Thibault.
You can say that name, but you can't say Dario Argento.
I did say Dario Argento.
It took you 3 takes.
Jar Jar Binks.
Bingo.
Psychos in Love. Find it today. Find it now. Well, that's about all the time we have right now. Well, thanks for joining us at Jerry
and Woody's Horror Movie Reviews.
Till next time.
Later.